Every day, the people who take care of us are being assaulted. Miranda is a primary care paramedic in rural Newfoundland.
Back in 2024, I was assaulted on the ambulance. Picked up a patient and he was a little bit agitated. As I was taking him off the stretcher, he grabbed me by the neck and started choking me. My partner screamed out for help and she was trying to get him off me, and then somehow in the tussle he got behind me, started strangling me. I almost went unconscious. It took 2 nurses, a doctor, and my partner, which is a paramedic, to get him off me. I thought it was a goner, honestly.
Right now, the way it works, the onus is on the employee to report to a police agency. That needs to change. The employer should actually be required to report.
Workplace violence claims in Newfoundland and Labrador rose 70% in a single decade. Jordan is a licensed practical nurse working in long-term care.
Workplace violence is very common in my workplace and in our profession. We see it no matter what site, what unit, what department you're in. It's everywhere.
Karen is a personal care attendant working in mental health and addictions.
Workplace violence is a significant issue in this province.
Samantha D. is a correctional officer.
I experience workplace violence on a daily basis, whether it's physical violence or verbal threats. Being a female officer, we do encounter a great deal of verbal violence from male inmates in particular. It's mostly from the people who are incarcerated, but we do experience some comments from the general public. They have a very strong opinion on our jobs and what we do. We're easy to recognize because we do wear our uniforms when we're out in public, and we have our corrections logo and we have corrections written on the back of our vests and our jackets. When we experience violence in our workplace, a lot of it goes unreported because it is just the daily routine of the job.
Doreen is a child protection social worker.
I've been with child protection for 19 years and a social worker for 30. I personally work in intake, so we're the first line of communication with the department. Workplace violence is escalating.
Staffing shortages in a number of professions that contributes to workplace violence. When staff work short, it leads to an increased occurrence of violence. Having sufficient resources is a deterrent towards workplace violence.
I have been pushed to the floor, shoved in the walls, punched, kicked, spit at, bit, cursed at, headbutted.
Very aggressive verbal behavior can be seen as violence. It's just as threatening. It's just as harmful physical. It affects their mental health. They're subjected to aggressive verbal behavior on a regular basis. And in many of our professions, that's a daily occurrence. These workers are there to help you. The last thing they need is to be threatened, to be belittled, spoken to aggressively. It's a daily occurrence.
Leslie is a student assistant.
I have been threatened. Threatened to end my life. I have been sworn on. I have been stabbed with a pencil that I needed medical attention. I've been bitten, spit at, chewed up food, spit in my face, grabbed, punched in the head specifically a couple of times. I had to actually go to the optical and get my glasses fixed. Grabbed a number of times and pinched in a specific area where I've gone for medical imaging and the technician has said, "Who's hurting you?" I have heard from other student assistants that they are experiencing the same. Hitting, biting, spitting, name calling, swearing at them, just general physical and emotional mental abuse.
They, threaten us, curse, swear, want to know who we are, who our supervisors are, say they want our jobs to get us fired.
Samantha W. is a home care worker.
As a home care worker, I am 99% of the time in their home with just the two of us. Giving a bath one time, I was just helping lower the male client and punched me right inside the face. And I lost part of my molars in the back of my mouth. No, I did not report that to workers' comp. I went to the dentist and got the tooth removed.
Andrew is a home care worker.
Over my 5 years as a home care worker, I have experienced clients assault me. I have seen clients assault other coworkers. I've had clients brandish knives. I have seen clients use chairs, kicking, slapping, or punching each other. You're by yourself. It can be scary when you have a client that is extremely upset and agitated. Most home care workers, they worry about their client's safety more than their own. They need to remember they need to protect themselves as well.
So my role in Constant Cure for mental health and addictions, I float to unit to unit. I have witnessed a couple of injuries that actually took classifications out of their professional practice. So such as dislocation of shoulders, broken fingers, injured backs. The general public go to the healthcare, they go in the emergency department, they hear all the code weights that happen. They mean violence. We could have shooter, we could have bomb threat, we could have a violent patient.
Krista is a diagnostic imaging technologist.
I left my previous role due to an incident that I reported, and knew that if I stayed, I would not get support. I thought it was coming from a person of trust, so a message came to my cell phone on vacation that he wanted to take me to bed. And I froze, and I don't ever flirt at work. My husband could have been someone that really didn't appreciate that. I reported that to my manager at the time, who was phenomenal. Just because you don't put your hands on somebody doesn't mean that you didn't hurt them. Words do come across sharper than a knife sometimes.
Social media is the devil. They can hide behind it. You don't see me, it's just words, nobody really cares. And that's not true. Sometimes words hurt more than the punch.
There seems to be no consequences for anybody.
We are on the cusp of a crisis when it comes to workplace harassment and violence. Employers and government must take it seriously. They must ensure their employees are made aware that they have a right to a safe and respectful workplace. They must make their employees aware that when they bring forward concerns, those concerns are going to be taken seriously and are going to be investigated and addressed by the employer. It is impacting workplaces in a very negative manner. It's impacting retention of employees. It's impacting recruitment of employees. It's impacting the physical and mental health of our members. Employers, government, and unions have a responsibility to ensure our members' workers are safe and that they feel safe in their workplaces. So governments have the ability to change regulations, make change legislation.
While it's called workplace violence, it actually comes home with you. It can cause a strain on your family, it can cause a strain on your personal relationships. You encounter so much violence on a daily basis, and you're in a workplace where you see all the horrible things that people can do to each other. And it's really hard to shut that off when you walk out the door. I come home from work and my kids are excited to see me and they're jumping all over me. And I just, for the first couple of minutes, I can't. I just need 5 minutes where there's nobody screaming or there's no noise. I just need to sit in silence for 5 minutes to decompress over everything I've seen and heard from that day. And that's not fair to my kids.
Violence, experiencing it either firsthand or secondaries, it leads to secondary trauma for social workers. We can't go home and talk to our families.
Most of my career has been dealing with dementia. It is a very mentally draining profession. There is times I go home crying.
That for the majority of my co-workers, it definitely has impacted our mental health. We're just constantly in a state of alert. We can't relax. We're constantly watching your back.
There is no single cause of workplace violence, but every worker in this documentary points to the same thing, and so does their union.
The problem with workplace violence can be summed up in one word: understaffing.
Such a shortage. That security station may be empty. That nurse's station may be empty.
The number of incidents is a direct result of understaffing. I feel that if children were giving the breaks they needed to have, if the classrooms were supported the way they needed to be supported, that many of these incidents would be caught before they actually happened. The children sometimes just need to get out of the classroom for 5 minutes, but there's no one to take them.
I do believe understaffing plays a major role. I know, for example, my unit, we drop staff at 4 o'clock until 8, and that is at the time when we see the most behaviors from our residents.
There's areas that are 50% less staff, and we're still told we have to do the same amount of work. The situation is volatile. In any moment, if one piece of equipment goes down, there's hundreds of people going to be affected. If 1 or 2 people call in sick because they need a sick day, there's lots of people during the day going to be affected.
You have guys that are working 12 hours with here and going 12 hours to another company, and then going 12 hours back to the first company, and they work for 36 hours, so they're tired, exhausted, but they have to work.
When you're tired, you're not as focused. Can't keep yourself safe if you're not alert. We're understaffed and we're on this wheel.
It's not the CEO talking to that family. It's not the manager. It's not the director. It's the frontline worker, our member, that is dealing with that and trying to de-escalate. So 79% of those workers' compensation claims that were due to workplace violence came directly from healthcare and social services. If we do not resolve the staff resource issue, those numbers are going to go up.
Like, we could be hired today, go to work tomorrow. You don't know what you're walking into most days, especially if you're subbing. Nobody hands you the policy. Nobody hands you the steps to take should something happen. As a substitute, you are not provided with any information on the children before you enter the school. In my experience, once I entered the school, if there was major concerns, you would be just given a small verbal briefing, but more times than not, you were just thrown into the classroom with no information.
I don't think I've ever been told that there's been aggression. Pretty much the only information they give you is name, age, diagnosis, address, what needs to be done when you're there. Most of the time you're just thrown in with a client.
We do have use of force training that we go through, and that teaches us how to protect ourselves against the physical violence. I would say yes, our employer definitely does prepare us for the job. The time period between our training gets further and further with staff shortages. So as a result, it's taking longer for us to get training courses done. There's been a lot of people who have gone like a year or two over the expiry date of their training. I feel like that shouldn't happen.
I've heard from hundreds of different home care workers where they are not giving any information about the client. They apply, they get hired, and the agencies just say, I have a client, here's the address.
I feel more training needs to be done surrounding our emergency preparedness blinders and our plans that are in place, because oftentimes some staff are familiar with the blinder, but no one is ever actually trained on it.
Employers will give training to certain individuals on how to de-escalate clients. However, not everyone is entitled to attend that course. All home care workers should have that course.
Today, there's no legal requirement for employers to educate their workers about workplace violence or a workplace violence plan. That must change. That should be a requirement that every employee employed in Newfoundland Labrador, direct government, private sector, healthcare, or other, should be educated around workplace violence.
I think we have more violence in rural areas. There's only two police officers. Sometimes, they're 2 hours away. We don't have backup a lot of times, so I think they know they can kind of get away with it a bit more. They call the ambulance, you got to respond.
Workplace violence is bad right across the province. It's even higher as you get to the rural communities of Newfoundland and Labrador.
When we experience violence in our workplace, a lot of it goes unreported because it is just the daily routine of the job.
I really feel that these incidents are grossly underreported. I think that many student assistants feel it's part of their job. It comes with the territory. I really believe that some student assistants feel like they would be complaining and there would be repercussions for that.
I report everything. Everything goes in my progress notes. I have no idea if anybody has read any of my progress notes. No follow-up. A lot of people fear that they're going to lose their job if they call and say, well, this is happening. Well, their solution will be, well, we'll take you out of there, but we can't promise you somewhere else. So it's either you stay where you're to and have a job, or you can go weeks, months without a client. And then what are you supposed to do?
I've been very lucky and very supported when I've made reports. Some of my colleagues, not so much.
Home care workers are deathly afraid of losing hours. A lot of people don't want to report things, so they don't want to rock the boat. They're afraid to speak up because of reprisals, even though we tell them they are protected. So they just sit there, suck it up, and take the abuse, or take the harassment, because they don't want to lose hours. A lot of coworkers, they don't know what to do. They feel that sometimes if they report it, that they're going to get removed from the house or it's going to be swept under the rug.
If the department would communicate more directly with us and maybe set up some days where there was workshops or professional development, we may feel more comfortable reporting. We don't know how to report it. We're not aware of the process.
There is a lot of underreporting. Part of the underreporting becomes an affordability issue, people forcing themselves to work because of the potential loss in income.
Social workers are really bad. We've become very complacent, almost like we accept it in the workplace. There's very little data about risk to us because, again, social workers don't report.
And we're told to have tough skin. I'm trying to learn is try to have thick skin, but I do not.
We have members that are fearful to report because of repercussions in relation to workplace violence and harassment. We have to find a way, employers have to find a way where employees are not fearful of repercussion in reporting these occurrences. By reporting these occurrences, feeling comfortable in reporting these occurrences, is a significant way of eroding or eliminating workplace harassment and violence in the workplace. Every single incident, every single occurrence that affects a frontline worker in relation to workplace violence or harassment should be and must be actually investigated. That shows the offender that it's been taken seriously. More importantly, it's showing the frontline worker it's been taken seriously and that they're supported.
Someone I know, a co-worker, reported an uncomfortable incident. This reported it back to the violator, I guess. And this person then hounded my co-worker. I have no confidence in the reporting system. When I went back to find my report, it's no longer exists. I cannot find it. I tried to find it for the investigator. I'm fearful of retaliation when I walk through the halls.
I don't think there's enough education or orientation that can be done to prepare somebody for the work in child protection. Social workers were deemed more at risk than police officers and firefighters combined. And when I looked at the risk levels for us compared to beauticians and landscapers, they got higher risk ratings. I felt like that was a slap in the face from our employer. Staff have been physically threatened with lumber, like people have been chasing them, going to hit them with lumber. And their supervisor said, well, no, you need to go back out there, but go back out without support. So, we don't have anything that keeps us safe when we go into a home. We're a mandated service. So we don't get to decide whose home we're going to work with.
When we experience violence in our workplace, a lot of it goes unreported because it is just the daily routine of the job.
Some think it's part of the job. Unfortunately, even the public think, well, that's what you signed up for. Well, that's not what they signed up for.
The workplace violence I encounter daily has made me want to leave long-term care and switch to an acute care setting, because even though workplace violence will still exist in an acute care setting, I feel as though you wouldn't run into it almost every hour.
Now, I was very close to quitting when this happened. So I used to love mental health calls. It used to be my favorite thing. I come from Calm River. We face a lot of issues. I wanted to be a paramedic. I want to make the change. And then when you're assaulted or attacked verbally, it just makes me want to leave. I've spoken to my husband multiple times that I want to leave the profession.
I've heard of people leaving home care because of the mental strain. Some of them just go to fast food. They take that pay cut just so they can breathe again, kind of thing. We feel not respected, not cared for in our profession.
We have lost a lot of co-workers because of workplace violence. The turnover rates are higher now than they've ever been.
People are leaving departments. They're leaving emergency department. They're leaving surgery floors. They're leaving residential in the hospital. They're leaving acute care.
We don't do something about workplace violence now, we are going to see more workers leave. When it comes to smaller groups like social workers, home care workers, or student assistants, if we just lose a handful of them, it has a tremendous impact.
I love my job. I absolutely love being a student assistant. To see the children growing and succeeding and happy trumps the bad days.
My job, I love my job. I put a smile on my face and I go to work. I just hope that when I walk out the door, that I go home to my children and my husband and I kiss them goodnight.
I love my job so much. I love helping people.
I love my job, and I love all my clients. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
I worked in the most amazing position, rewarding position I have ever held.
Just because they chose a career path doesn't mean they said, well, I know I'm going to get a few knocks, bumps, and scrapes. There should be safeguards in place to prevent it from happening. And right now, the safeguards are not there.
To up our numbers, to give us that sense of safe, you got to bring in that not working alone policy back.
No hands-on training. We were offered a home support worker program last year, which I also completed. Most of the time, you're just thrown in with a client with no training whatsoever.
It is the employer's responsibility to get the members the courses and training. I also put it on NL Health to make the courses more available, right? There's train more instructors in NVCI, the Nonviolent Crisis Intervention, so that we can put on more courses and get more members trained.
We need to have established processes and procedures that staff know about and have at their fingertips, rather than creating confusion and broken communication. The employer could have implemented safety plans ahead of time to prevent further incidents from happening, directing their staff, instead of us feeling time pressure to go and deal with residents who are displaying violence towards staff.
More education is helpful, but also giving a staff person the permission to say, this is not okay.
They would rather just send people in than give them that extra hour or two pay. Saving money is 100% more important to them than our well-being.
Our supervisors, our zone managers, our regional directors, they know the risks that we take, but I don't think the bigger government gets the risks that we take. I don't think that they know.
To the workplace violence from your clients, it will never be eliminated. More often than not, we're dealing with the clients on their worst days, right? We are the ones that have to de-escalate them if they get upset. But I believe that it can be reduced, especially with proper training.
I think it's important for the public, for the Department of Education, for everybody to be aware that this is happening. It's happening often.
My message to frontline workers: you have a right to be respected. You have a right to be safe in your workplace.
These workers chose careers built on helping others. They did not accept violence. They shouldn't have to.
Before you say your next statement, think about whether or not you would want that to be said to your daughter, your son, because somebody cares about us that way.
It's in no one's job description to put up with violence.
Government has to make regulatory changes. Everybody has a role to play. Government, employers, and unions taking a collaborative approach to ensuring that workplace harassment, workplace violence is getting the attention that's necessary. Today, we believe it is not. It's a serious issue in the workplace. It's an escalating issue in the workplace. And all the parties, employers, governments, and unions, have a collective responsibility to protect frontline workers.